And of course, as temperatures are plummeting across the country, Johannesburg Emergency Management Services is also urging residents to be cautious when using heating devices. So let's chat now to Robert Mulaudzi, Johannesburg Emergency Services spokesperson. Robert, thank you so much for your time this evening. I mean, give us an update, for example, of how the situation has been overnight. Have been any incidences since it started getting freezing cold?
Good afternoon, Spongi. At this stage, we have not yet recorded any major incidents which have been recorded in most of our most vulnerable community, maybe our informal settlements, and also in our formal residential areas. We have not yet received any major incidents. However, we are still pleading with our residents to continue to look after all heating devices, things like heaters, paraffin stoves, brazier or imbawula. They must make sure that they don't leave these kind of heating devices unattended while, they are in use, so that we can be able to prevent fire incidents.
Robert, how much of a concern is that for you? And I ask you this because, time and again, you come out as EMS to warn residents about this, but we sometimes still see some fires, for example, and in some of the instances, we do see some of the areas also becoming problematic around this time. What would you say is the reason? Is it because people are not listening, or is there something else at play?
Okay, yeah, the challenge is that most of the fire incidents which we receive, mostly during this time of the year, are within our informal settlements. Most of them, they use what I call like your traditional heating devices, like your brazier, imbawula, the paraffin stoves, candles. Most of these heating devices, they makes them vulnerable to fire incidents. Hence, we have introduced this community emergency programs where we empower our residents about the safe use of these heating devices, like how they can be able to use the candles safely, and also how can they be able to use this paraffin stove safely, and also the safe use of imbawula. They must make sure that use it in a well-ventilated area before they go to bed. They must take it out. And also, what is it that they can do, for instance, to evacuate as and when there's a fire incident? So we're giving them, your disaster preparedness skills to make sure that they've got those kind of skills to deal with these kind of emergencies through our public education unit, which is a unit which is responsible for public education within our fire service. So far, we also will want to take this opportunity to encourage our residents who are residing within the city of Johannesburg that we do have, we call them Be Safe centers. These are educational centers which are mostly spread in all 7 regions of the city, where residents also can take charge and come visit us. We are able to train them in all the life and safety educational programs, like be it basic firefighting, be it first aid, disaster preparedness. So what is it that they can do when there's emergencies at home?
Yeah.
They can also they can also be able to call us, because this public education unit is actually full-time. We've got men and women who are going out on a day-to-day basis, like what they've done today at Joburg Park, where they were conducting the door-to-door campaign there in the area.
So Robert,
they are able to come.
Pardon me. What is the number where they reach you?
Yeah, we've got they can be able to call us on our central reservation number. This is not an emergency number. It's a line which they can be able to call us, which is 011-758-5050. That's for public education purposes. It's not an emergency number. They don't call number when they've got a life-threatening emergencies.
So how are you, pardon me, how are you going to be dealing with the issue of those who are homeless?
No, from our side, it's not really our jurisdiction, but from our side, in terms of what, providing shelter and all the other stakeholders which are supposed to make sure that they do that. But from our side, we make sure that we give them the necessary skills to deal with emergencies as and when they occur, wherever they are. The danger of them, maybe to make sure that maybe when they've started a fire, maybe it's a container fire, it's an imbaula, they need to make sure that they extinguish that fire off before they sleep, so that, we don't have incidents of fires, or, it can be felt fire, or, fires are around where they are. So we as an organization, we have taken a strategy to say that as a fire service, we cannot really every time go out, wait for disasters or emergencies to happen. We have come up with a strategy. Prevention is the future, where we're going out to our communities to make sure that they are empowered. So we encouraging them to say, be it in a church or a community forum or a street committee, we're able to come to where they are and work with them to make sure that they've got the necessary skills to prevent emergencies. Not only because emergencies are seasonal, so during winter time we'll have fires, but during summertime we'll have incidents of drowning. So holistically, we give them all the necessary skills for them to deal with emergencies as and when they occur in their respective areas.
Robert, thank you so much.